Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. And today I have a very special video for you. It's a review of this beautiful Scooby-doo palette from Glamlite. This is the big palette that they came out with on the beginning of May. It finally came here. It took quite a while for me to get it because even though I ordered it on the 1st of May, or like when it launched, I think it started shipping to me at the end of May, and it took like 3 weeks to get here because I'm from Europe. So it was kind of stressful to film all the looks. This is my 4th look with this palette, and I wanted to do 5 looks. So I did like looks based off of the characters from the show. So I did everything except Scooby-doo. I was leaving that one as last, and I will kind of talk through that one, and the rest of the looks will be done as a voiceover. But I really wanted this palette. I love Scooby-doo. It's literally my favorite show from when I was a child. And I'm from Czech Republic, so there weren't that many TV shows for kids back when I was young. And Scooby-doo was one of those that just that I did watch. So when I found out that they're gonna do this, I needed to get it. I'm posting this video today because tomorrow at 12 noon this palette will be available on Monolith Shop EU, which is a European reseller of these American brands. So if you're from Europe, you can get it there. If you're not from Europe, this palette is still available on Glamlite's website, at least when I was checking it yesterday. It was still available, which is kind of weird because I feel like when I was buying it in May, they said that it's gonna be available only in May, and then they're gonna have to like get rid of the collection, and it's not gonna be available. But they still have it on their website, so you can still get it if you want. And this palette has 25 shades, 5 for each character, and it's almost like a rainbow palette. I will show you close-ups and swatches right now. It's absolutely beautiful. I was a little bit scared that there might not be enough like lighter shades, because I like to have light and dark shades to like create a look, and because this is a Black woman owned brand, I believe, I was kind of scared that it might be a little bit too deep for me, but it's absolutely wonderful. I love all the looks that I've created with this, and the quality is amazing. The mattes are so easy to work with. They're so beautiful. They're so buttery and very easy to blend. The shimmers, they're not the most sparkly shimmers that I have, but they're still pretty sparkly. I mean, it is sparkly, it's beautiful. It's just, if I would like compare it with my like Oden's Eye or other brands like that, it's not as sparkly. I also bought this blush duo with Velma and Daphne. This blush is amazing. It's so beautiful. I was a little bit scared if it's not gonna come shattered, because I know that happened for a lot of people, but thankfully mine is okay. So you have this like corally color and then this like Barbie pink color. I was a little bit scared of the pink blush, but in the end I've actually used it more than the Velma one. So those are the two products that I bought. They have these like shifty covers, you know, that change, the picture changes, and it's so beautiful. Like literally, this is so beautiful. I loved working with these with this palette and with these shades. One thing that I'm gonna say, when you're using the shimmers, it's better to use them on a wet base, or like either glitter primer, which is what I used, or you can spray your brush. And I found if I use it on the glitter primer, it's better to use brushes that are like this or this, something that's not completely flat, something that also has like a blending abilities, because I feel like these brushes pick the shimmers better. If I try to use something like completely flat, like this one that's just like straight, it wasn't really easy to pick the shimmers up, and it looked more like a topper than a shimmer. And also it's better if you have a natural bristle brushes than synthetic ones, or at least a brush that kind of feels more like a real hair. If it's too synthetic, it was kind of harder to pick up. So that's just my little like tip for you. But it's absolutely beautiful. I love the variety. As I said, this will only be 5 looks because I have to get this video up today, but I will definitely use this more in my Instagram reels and on my TikTok, especially in the next couple days. I definitely have a lot of color stories or like look ideas that I want to try with this palette, so there's definitely gonna be a lot more looks than just these 5. So if you have this palette and you're looking for inspiration, definitely check my Instagram and TikTok. And if you don't, still you can find some look inspiration, even though you might not want this palette, but I feel like you can use any palettes to create these. When it comes to the color story, it's very beautiful. I like that even though you have some colors that look very like cool toned, they don't look that cool toned in real life, which for me is a good thing, because cool toned colors don't really look that good on me. So I was a little bit scared about the blue row, but actually it's not that cool toned, especially this blue. It's such a beautiful, like more like true blue. So it's not that cool toned. The same with the purple row. It's also not as cool toned as I was kind of worrying. It's kind of more like neutral toned. Then obviously I have the green and orange, so these are more like warmer in the tone. And then the Scooby row, that one I haven't tried yet, but I feel like it could be doable for me. And then one thing that I also wanted to mention, when I was swatching it, this shade, and this shade, they look kind of similar. They're very like deep turquoisey based colors, and they don't look that different from each other when you swatch them. I mean, like, it's not that they're completely similar, but they're not that far apart, and I feel like if I would use one or another, it wouldn't really make that much of a difference in the whole look. There's not a lot of inner corner highlights, so you can either use the matte shades, the like lighter matte shades, or you can just use another palette for that. I did help myself with another palette, or once I helped myself with another palette, and today I was using the lighter matte shade as my inner corner highlight, and I used this shade twice as my inner corner highlight. So I've used all the shades at least once, or I will as after we're gonna do the Scooby-Doo look. And I really like the quality. It's really great. The palette is a little bit bigger than I normally go for. For me, I usually go for like 9 to 16 pans, so this is the biggest palette that I own, but it's beautiful. And I'm never getting rid of this. This is the cutest palette that I have, and I just love these palettes, so definitely would recommend. I will link Glamlite's website where I bought it, and I will also link the Monolith shop website, as well as all the products that I'm using here will be listed down below, so you can check that out. And without further ado, let's get into this. I will take this look off, and we will start with the last look. And I will show you these looks like in the order that this row goes. So we're gonna start with Scooby, then Shaggy, then Daphne, then Velma, and we're gonna end it with Fred. Even though I didn't really use the palette in this order, obviously, but just so that it makes more sense, I guess. So yeah, see you in a minute. So I'm back, and we're gonna play with the Scooby-doo row of this palette. So I'm gonna start with the brown shade to kind of build up the crease. I've used the same eyeshadow base as with the other look, so it was the Beauty Bay eyeshadow base. And I'm using a Sigma E24 brush. That's usually my favorite brush to kind of start the crease. And we're gonna pack it in the outer corner, kind of like the outer part of the crease. Okay, so I used the brown shade. I also put that on my lower lash line. This one is probably the least pigmented shade in here, so I guess it's just to kind of help building the crease. So we're gonna deepen it up with this deep, like turquoisey shade, or like cool toned blue shade. And we're gonna put that on the outer corner to just have some kind of depth. And as you can see, they layer really nicely. You can build them up very easily. It's definitely not a hard palette to use. Now I'm gonna take back the brush that I used for the first shade, and I'm just kind of gonna go over that and blend the edges a little bit better. And I'm also gonna take another brush, just any like fluffy brush, and I'm gonna take the lightest shade, this soft, like almost like icy turquoisey color, and I'm gonna put that in the first third of my eye. Something like that. And we're gonna smoke it out a little bit. So now that we have the base, I'm gonna put this NYX glitter primer, and we're gonna start with this shimmer, this like deep turquoisey color, and I'm gonna use a kind of like fluffier brush, and this one is the Zoeva 232 Luxe Classic Shader. I just found that these more fluffier brushes are better at picking up the shimmer shades, at least from what I've tried. I think if you spray your brushes with like setting spray, then maybe you don't need this and you can use like any kind of brush that you have. But I don't really like to use setting spray. I prefer using the glitter primer because I feel like the shadows last better that way. When it comes to the longevity and like the way that they last on the eyes, I didn't really have any problems with creasing. So I don't think that they're like bad quality shadows or anything. They're definitely very pigmented, very easy to wear, very quick, or like very easy to use. All of these looks that I've made were pretty quick to do. I definitely didn't have to spend too much time like blending the shades or building the shades or anything. So I think it's a very well made palette. And now I'm gonna take smaller brush that has like also like that's a little bit fluffier, And we're gonna use this shade, which is kind of like light, neutrally, like beigey color. It's definitely not a shade that I would normally use, but I want to make sure that I'm gonna use all the shades at least once. And I think with the blue it's gonna look a little bit more like silvery. Yeah, so it's definitely a little bit more silvery with the blues, which I'm not mad at all. So this is kind of how the crease, how the lid is gonna look like. And I think I'm gonna use the lightest blue shimmer in the thread row to I'm gonna use it in my inner corner just because I want a little bit more blue colors. And this one is the lightest shade because I don't really want to use this shade on my in my inner corner. I want a little bit more blue. I feel like this looks a little bit more neutrally than that I would want. We're gonna use this shade. It's like a very pretty, kind of like periwinkle color. And this one is definitely a little bit more of a toppery shade, I feel like. But you can build it up and it's quite nice and sparkly. Okay, so that's it. And before we're gonna put some mascara and eyeliner, I kind of thought, since this is like my last look with this palette for this video, but the first look of this video, I really like how there's like a little paws in the paw prints in the palette. And I was thinking that I'm gonna try to mix this brown shade with Duraline and create some of those paw prints on like the outer corner. So let me get that ready and I will show you how I want to do it. So I found out that my plan won't really work, so I'm just gonna put some black eyeliner, like a gel liner on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna use the end of a brush. Definitely find a brush that's round, and we're gonna just stamp a little like dot like so. We're gonna do the same thing on the other eye, so like that. And now we're gonna take smaller brush and we're gonna create four little dots around it. Like so. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a palm. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye and I'll come back. So that's it. I was using the L'Oreal Gel Intenza gel liner. Okay, so I finished this look. I just put the same eyeliner on, and then I used this Thrill Seeker mascara from Rimmel, and I also used this Oden's eye pencil in the shade 4. I don't know if you can see that, but it's the shade 4. It's like this minty color, and I use that in my waterline. Then I'm gonna again, for like 4th time, I'm gonna use the Daphne blush because it's just the Velma ones is too warm toned for this, in my opinion. So we're just gonna use this. I'm using my Oden's Eye blush brush, and let me just put that on. It's a very beautiful color. I actually didn't expect it to like this color that much because I'm not into pinks too much, and I've never really had a pink blush that I would like. But this one, it's very subtle. It's not too crazy, though you can build it up, but it's not like crazy color. And I feel like especially for summer, this is actually very cute, and I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of uses out of it throughout summer. And I really like the formula of the blush. It's so easy to use. It's so just like effortless. It's very easy to blend out. It has the perfect amount of pigment so that you actually get something on your face, but you can decide how much you want and how far you want to go with this. So this is the blush. As you saw, it was really quick. And then for my highlighter, I think I'm gonna use this one, this like teal color from the Nyx Fate collection. So this is the like the Wings Saga series, and I'm gonna put that because I feel like this fits the color story on my eyes the most. And this one is pretty sparkly and glittery, so I don't know if you can see anything, but it's a very nice sparkly highlighter. This is the finished look. I'm gonna show you a little bit more of a closer look at that. I feel like this is probably the easiest like graphic liner idea that I've ever done, except for maybe like if you're doing flowers, because it's literally just dots. I feel like it fits the theme of this palette. I absolutely love this palette. As I said, like it's such a beautiful palette, and I will get a lot of uses out of that because this is just so beautiful. I love these two columns or rows, I'm not sure, because this one is so beautiful. It's so sparkly. It's so like almost like pastel-y shimmer colors, and then these are like pastel-y matte colors. I really like this. And then on the other side, just the depth that you can go in with this palette. Absolutely love it. Love the little mirror. I'm gonna try to show you without showing the camera. It's just so beautiful. It's perfectly done. It looks gorgeous. It performs amazingly. And as I said, it's amazing. Thank you so much for creating this. And as I said, I will link everything down below. And now let's roll the other 4 clips so that you can see all of the other looks that I've done with that. So enjoy. And if you want to leave comment, like, or if you want to subscribe to my channel, I will definitely appreciate that. I'm trying to post more videos nowadays, so I will be very happy for that. Anyways, let's jump into the next clips. Okay, so for the second look, we're gonna look at the Shaggy's row, and we're gonna start with the mid-tone green, or this like kind of army green. And I've put that in the second half of my eyelid, and I deepen it up with the darkest shade of this row, which is very like deep mossy green, as you can see in the swatches. And then I used the very light green shade in the first third of my eye, and I really love this green. Like all of these green colors are so beautiful. I really love them. They're absolutely stunning. Then I used the sparklier, like lighter shimmer shade on the most of my eyelid. It's so sparkly, it's so beautiful. And then I used the darker shade to kind of blend the shimmers into the deeper mattes at the outer corner. So that's it. And then I used the lightest matte shade in my inner corner again to just lighten it up. Then I used the Daphne blush and Darcy highlighter from the Colourpop Blinks collection, and this is the whole look. As you can see, I really love this look. This is like the everyday look for me, and I absolutely love it. For the third look, we did Daphne, so we started with the lightest purple shade, kind of on the top part of the crease. Then I deepen it up with the middle shade, which is kind of more like pinky than purpley. It's like kind of magenta color. It's like warmer pink or like warmer purple. And then I deepen it up with the darkest color, which is almost like deep blue. It's a very, very dark purple. Then I used the darker of the shimmers on the second half of my eyelid. Stunning shade and so sparkly, absolutely beautiful. And then I used the lighter shimmer. This one feels a little bit more like topper, and I definitely had to build it up a little bit more to get it to full opacity, but it's beautiful color and it definitely reminds me of Daphne. And then I also used the lightest shade from the Freds row to have something lighter in the inner corner, because both of these shimmers for Daphne's row were too dark for me. Then I used her blush as well, and I also created this graphic eye look using the Suva UV Truffles eyeliners. So I did like this wing shape. Then I used the Thrill Seeker mascara from Rimmel, the gel liner from Colourpop in the shade Amethyst Hour, then She Glam Corpse Bright lipstick in the shade Emily, and the violet shade from NYX and Wings collection from the highlighters. Then for another look, we went in with Velma. So I started with the middle shade, or like the mid-tone shade, which is very like neon orange. Then I deepen it up with the red color. I absolutely love this red. It's such a beautiful, like, it's very beautiful red, and with the orange it just looks like sunset. So that's definitely beautiful. And then in the middle, in the beginning of my eye, I used the yellow shade. Then I used both of the shimmers, the lighter one in the beginning of the eye, and then the darker one in the second half of the eye. And for my inner corner highlight, I used this goldy shade from Oden's Eye Alva 2 Mini Forest palette. And then I used the Velma blush on my face. I used the Thrill Seeker mascara as before, and I also used the Dermacol yellow eye pencil. As you can see, then I also used the She Glam liquid highlighter in the shade Solar Flare, Oden's Eye lipstick in Love Jasmine, and Colourpop liquid liner in the shade Try Me. So this is the finished look. I feel like it's very summery, sparkly, very, very beautiful, and I was very happy about this look. Then for the last look, I went in with the Freds row. So I started with the lighter of the blues. It's such a beautiful, like, true blue color. It's absolutely stunning, and I wouldn't mind only using this shade. It was just so beautiful. And then I used this navy blue, which is also so beautiful and very, very pigmented, as you can see. And I absolutely love this shade. Then I used all the shimmers. So I started with the middle one on most of my lid, then the darker one on the end of my lid, or like the outer edge, and then as my inner corner highlight I used the lightest shade. And then I used the Daphne blush I used Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara and Suva Beauty eyeliner in the shade Space Panda, and also Essence eye pencil in white color. And I wanted to do these like flowers at the edge of my eyes, because when I think of Fred, I don't only think of blue, but I also think of yellow and white. So I wanted to do white flowers and put a little bit of a yellow shadow in the middle of the flower. That I used a small pencil brush for that. So here's the finished look. I also used the She Glam Corpse Bright highlighter on my face because it's like it has blue sheen, and I thought it would look really good with this look since it's blue. And yeah, that's the whole look. I hope you like this video. Let me know which character is your favorite from the show, and let me know which look did you like the most. And I definitely would be happy to hear from you if you want to pick this palette up, or if this review was helpful for you to decide whether you want this palette or not. So that will be it from me. Everything will be linked down below, and thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. So hope you have a great day, and bye.